Hey, so no title for this one. Just gonna be me and a camera but I have some exciting news. Next week I'm going to have a webcam and all kinds of fancy stuff, but couldn't get it working in time for the live videos this week. Anyway, on to the main story. I don't know how many people are going to watch this. It blesses me every time, but I say that every time, but I don't feel like I said enough, really. Every single view of these live videos in my bedroom, they really do mean a lot to me. And they will continue to mean a lot to me regardless of whether one person watches or 100 people watch. But the story today was going to be about college, because if you watched last week's video, I covered high school in depth, and I wanted to get to college a little bit, because college, for me, at least the way I see it, and this is purely the way I see it, college for me was the equivalent of junior year in high school for everybody else, because through high school and even a bit beyond, even a bit today, I kind of relied a lot on my parents, which is wonderful. I have wonderful parents that have and will continue to do a lot for me. But I got to college and I kind of wanted to break away from them. Not because I hated them or anything like that, but because I wanted to become my own person. And I mentioned last week in the video that no one in high school, except for the people that saw my IEP, Google that. If you don't know what that means, it's fancy jargon for what makes me different. Or at least that's the way I always saw it. But anyway, in high school, nobody knew why I acted the way I did, except for the people that were privy to my IEP. In college, I kind of viewed it as a fresh start. I kind of viewed it as, okay, no one, with the exception of maybe 3 people, if I'm remembering that right, followed me from high school to Lipscomb. So the first weekend, I kind of saw it as, well, no one knows me here. I can kind of reinvent myself. So I started to really play up the, I'm in a wheelchair, but please, if you give me pity, I will not take it. And please treat me like anybody else, because whatever crap you give me, I can give you right back. So I played that angle up, and I still do, honestly, to this day. I was at church the other day and was getting ragged on over and over because I play the blind card too much. That, to me, is exactly how I want it to be. So I got to college, and really, it wasn't the first word out of my mouth, because that would be weird. But once I learned that, okay, you can trust these people, I started telling them, well, I can't see very well, so you have to get, like, right here for me to see you. So that became part of what made me me. Got a lot of hugs that way, because if you go up to a girl that you're interested in and lead with the line, "I'm blind, give me a hug so I can see you better," it tends to work out. But that's a topic I'll deal with in another video. But so I really like that, because that way, leading with what made me different kind of, I think, broke down, and I could be completely wrong. This is me looking at my life from my lens, but the way I saw it, it was making fun of myself before people had a chance to make fun of me. And I really kind of liked it that way. Yes, I was known as the weirdo on campus, but I wasn't the weirdo because they made me the weirdo. I was the weirdo because I accepted the fact that, hey, I'm weird, I'm quirky, this is me, deal with it. And it really allowed me to experience college kind of on my terms, if that makes sense. And the only problem that I saw with that didn't happen until I was out for a year. I was out for a year, and I began noticing that, okay, this is all people know me as. They don't know me as who I really want them to see me as. I want them to see me as a normal person that accepts my struggles as mine and owns them. But they saw me as someone that takes 90% of life as a joke. And while that's wonderful, and I still do that under the right circumstances, I want people to take me seriously when the time demands it. So, really what this video series is turning into, or what I want it to be, has changed week to week. And I'm being honest with y'all. It's literally changed week to week. It started out as, let's see how popular I can be, and then we'll roll with that. And then it turned into, well, I don't really know, but as long as I'm sitting here in front of the camera, people will watch and like it. What I see it as now, and what I hope it will turn into eventually, is a genuine guy telling genuine stories. And I don't know how long this is going to run, but I see no sign that tells me to stop doing it. If anything, I see signs telling me to continue doing it, find a way to reach more people. But my college experience, getting back, was different because I began to realize of my own accord that the teachers loved me, which is wonderful. You always want your teachers to love you. But they love me so much that I don't know if the grades I got in certain classes are grades I earned or grades that they just gave to me because I had a positive attitude or not. And I don't know, it doesn't matter now. 4 years out, it doesn't matter. But it's one of those things that I can't help but think back on and go, okay, did I actually genuinely earn the grade I got, or did I positivity my way into it? And don't get me wrong, I'm not unappreciative of the grades. I'm not. I want to, look, I have a marketing degree, and I got the marketing degree for a very specific reason. There was no math involved, or hardly any math involved, because I really, when it came down to it, math didn't click for whatever reason. So I got the marketing degree so I could focus on how advertising works, how to best look at yourself as a marketable commodity. And I liked marketing because this was my problem with math. Because when you get into the advanced math portions, they started asking you for one or two variables. And there were multiple things were called, one thing was called like 3 different things. I didn't like that. What I did like in marketing was that there wasn't one set way to do it. If you had individual quirks that made you special or unique, no one could tell you this is the set way to do this, or this is the set way to get this audience. Marketing, and by extension most of my life, has been, okay, you have these things that are solely unique to you. Now let's tinker a little bit and figure out a way to make you stand out. So my advice is really the same no matter who you are. If you're 35 and somehow watching this, or if you're 19 somehow watching this, which is far more likely because I know a lot more college age people, my advice would be, don't focus on the GPA you have or the GPA you got. Focus on the GPA is good. It'll get you places. It'll get you in the door. But if you don't have a sense of who you are as an individual, it'll only get you to where someone else thinks you belong, and not necessarily where you yourself think you belong. the further I get out from college, the more I realize that the GPA I had, which is quite good, doesn't matter. My personality matters. And my I say supposed because I don't know what I'm doing. I've never woken up and gone, okay, I'm going to meet this person and have this impact on them. No, I ask people. Ask my best friends. Ask the people that drive me around. Ask my parents. I have no idea what makes me so relatable is the best word I can use, but even that doesn't seem to fit. So, I mean, if I can do what I'm doing and reach the audience that the analytics say I'm reaching, I'm not doing that because I had a 3.5 GPA. I'm doing that because my personality, and I've accepted that this is who I am. This is who I want to be. And this is who I'll never be. You know, college grew me up, but it didn't necessarily take away what made me me. It just kind of put what made me me in a whole different perspective. So my final thoughts, I guess, because I always try to give you final thoughts, would be don't focus on necessarily what makes you marketable in the eyes of a company. Focus on what you think makes you special and find a way to harness that for people. Because another thing that I haven't touched on very much, that I will touch on in further detail in a whole separate video, is my faith. So don't focus on what the company you work for thinks makes you marketable. Focus on what God is doing and people that God is putting in your life, and just focus on making people smile. That's your only job. I know the pay is crappy, but the reward, there's a whole different, there are two things in life. There's the tangible reward, and then there's that feeling that you get when you've made people's lives better. Focus far less on the tangible stuff and focus more on the part that makes you feel good. Now, I'm not saying go out and quit your job, because that's ridiculous. The only reason I'm able to do what I'm doing is because I have people in the other room that allow me to live and act and really I don't have to worry about certain things that most people have to worry about. And I'm very blessed, and the day I lose track of that is the day that, honestly, I want to be told I'm losing track of that. there's a difference in understanding what you've been given and not trying to move forward. I think a lot of people, and I've never said this publicly, but I'm going to now. I think a lot of people in my life, and on Facebook especially, just assume that, I don't do stuff because, I get bored doing it. I've done so many things that I start and stop and start and stop. I do what I do purely to bless people. And sometimes I fail, and sometimes I realize that there are better methods to do what I'm doing. But, so I'm not saying carbon copy what I'm doing, because there are a lot of things seen in the opening of this video that I can improve on, and I will never be polished. I will never do this 100% right every time. I might slip up and swear every now and then. Hopefully not, but I might slip up and swear every now and then. But my goal with the people watching these videos is to not be afraid to be yourself, and whether yourself is you at a Fortune 500 or running races because they make you feel good, or hey, if your life dream is to be a garbage man, be the best darn garbage man you can be. But by no means get complacent. Take the people telling you what you can't do and prove to them that you can do. So I don't know. The only thing I know is this video has been all over the place, and I will try to do better next week. But that's what you get with me. I'm sorry. That's probably never going to change. But I hope that my story today and my rambling off the 4 tangents that I took during this video. Yes, I count how many tangents there are. I have nothing better to do. I hope that they mean something to someone, and that if you know someone or are someone that really needs to hear this, share it with them. Go back and watch this video again, because, okay, I'm gonna be the cat poster that you see in all the novelty stores. You're awesome. The only one that can tell you you're not awesome is you. And if you're telling yourself you're not awesome, then you clearly don't see yourself the way God intended. So take a look in the mirror and repeat 3 times, I am awesome, I'm gonna make a difference. And then see what God does with it. And that's all I have to say. Bye.